The ancient Stoics understood something about success that modern society has completely forgotten. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in the world, wrote in his private journal that the object of life is not to be on the side of the majority, but to escape finding oneself in the ranks of the insane. Epictetus, who started life as a slave, taught that wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Seneca, one of the richest men in Rome, warned that we suffer more in imagination than in reality. These men knew the secret that you're desperately searching for. Success cannot be chased, it can only be attracted by the person you become. You're exhausted because you're running after something that moves faster the harder you chase it. You're unfulfilled because you've placed your peace in external outcomes you cannot control. You're anxious because you've made your happiness dependent on variables that universe dictates, not you. The Stoics would tell you that this is madness, that you're torturing yourself by focusing on what lies outside your control, while neglecting the only thing that truly matters, your character, your virtue, your inner citadel. The Stoic diagnosis: you're focused on the wrong things. The fundamental Stoic principle is the dichotomy of control. There are things within your control and things outside your control. Your effort, your attitude, your character, your response to events, these are within your control. The outcomes, the recognition, the wealth, the status, these are outside your control. They are what the Stoics called preferred indifference. Yes, they're preferred, but they're indifferent to your true happiness and virtue. When you chase success, you're obsessing over outcomes you cannot control. You're making your peace dependent on whether clients say yes, whether the market cooperates, whether people recognize your worth, whether timing works in your favor. This is psychological slavery. You've handed the keys to your happiness to external circumstances, and now you're shocked that you're miserable when those circumstances don't comply with your wishes. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." This is the diagnosis of your suffering. You're trying to control the uncontrollable while neglecting what you actually can control. The market's response to your work? Uncontrollable. The quality and integrity of your work? Completely controllable. Whether people appreciate you? Uncontrollable. Whether you're worthy of appreciation? Entirely controllable. What to do instead? Focus on virtue and excellence. The Stoics taught that the only true good is virtue, excellence of character. Everything else is indifferent. Success, wealth, recognition, comfort, all indifferent. This doesn't mean they don't matter or that you shouldn't work toward them. It means they cannot be the source of your happiness or the measure of your worth. Your worth is determined by one thing only. Are you living according to virtue? Are you developing excellence in your character and your craft? Instead of chasing success, commit to arete, excellence. Be the best version of yourself that you can possibly be, not for recognition or reward, but because excellence is its own reward. Pour yourself into your work with complete dedication, not because it will make you rich or famous, but because shoddy work is beneath your dignity. Treat every person with respect and integrity, not because it will advance your career, but because your character demands it. When you shift your focus from outcomes to excellence, something profound happens. You reclaim your power. Your happiness is no longer hostage to circumstances. You can be fulfilled right now, today, if you're working with excellence and integrity, regardless of whether the world has rewarded you yet. The Stoics would say you're already successful if you're living virtuously, even if you're poor, unknown, and unrewarded. Epictetus taught his students, make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens. Pour all your energy into being excellent at your craft. Master your skills, develop unshakable character, cultivate wisdom, act with justice and courage and temperance. These are within your power. The results? Take them as they happen. If success comes, receive it with equanimity. If it doesn't come when you expect, remain unbothered because you know you're doing what's within your power. What to do instead? Amor fati, love your fate.
The Stoic concept of amor fati means loving everything that happens, including obstacles, setbacks, and delays. When you're chasing success, every obstacle is torture because it's keeping you from what you desperately want. When you practice amor fati, every obstacle becomes an opportunity to develop virtue, resilience, and wisdom. Didn't get the opportunity you wanted? Good. This is a chance to develop patience and to work on your skills further. Lost a client or a deal? Excellent. This is a test of your equanimity and an opportunity to demonstrate grace under pressure. Market turned against you? Perfect. Now you can prove your resilience and adaptability. The obstacle is the way, as Marcus Aurelius taught. The thing standing in your path becomes the path itself. This completely transforms your relationship with failure and setbacks. You're no longer devastated by them because they're not keeping you from success. They are the very means of success. Every challenge is developing the character and capabilities that true success requires. The delay is not denying you success, it's preparing you for it. When you love your fate, whatever it brings, you become unstoppable. You cannot be discouraged because setbacks don't discourage you. They energize you as opportunities for growth. You cannot be broken by failure because you don't see failure. You see feedback and development. You've transformed from someone fragile, dependent on circumstances going your way, to someone anti-fragile, who actually gets stronger from chaos and challenge.
What to do instead? Build your inner citadel. Marcus Aurelius spoke of the inner citadel, the fortress of the mind that nothing external can penetrate. While you've been chasing external success, the Stoics would tell you to build internal strength. Fortify your mind against the arrows of fortune. Develop such profound inner security that nothing external can shake you. This inner citadel is built through daily practice. Negative visualization, imagining losing what you have, trains you to appreciate what you have and prepares you for loss. Voluntary discomfort, choosing challenge and hardship, builds resilience and reminds you that you need less than you think. Contemplation of mortality, remembering that your time is finite, creates urgency and perspective about what actually matters. When your inner citadel is strong, external circumstances lose their power over you. Success or failure, wealth or poverty, recognition or obscurity, none of it can disturb your fundamental peace because your peace comes from within, from your character, from living according to your values. This is true freedom, not the freedom to do whatever you want, but the freedom from being controlled by external circumstances. The paradox is that when you build this inner citadel, when you become internally free and unshakable, you actually become far more effective in the external world. You make better decisions because you're not desperate. You take better risks because you're not afraid of loss. You persist longer because setbacks don't destroy you. The success you were chasing finds you because you've become the kind of person success is attracted to. What to do instead? Memento mori. Remember you will die. The Stoics kept death constantly in mind, not morbidly, but as a tool for living well. Memento mori. Remember you will die. This recognition that your time is finite transforms how you spend it. When you're chasing success frantically, you're acting as if you have infinite time to reach some future state where you'll finally be happy. But you don't have infinite time. You have now, this moment, and an unknown number of additional moments. Seneca wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." When you're chasing success desperately, you're wasting your life. You're postponing living until some future achievement, but that future may never come. Or it may come and you'll find it empty because you've trained yourself to always look ahead, never to be present and satisfied now. Remembering death brings clarity. What actually matters? Not impressing strangers with your achievements, not accumulating wealth you can't take with you, not achieving status that dies with you. What matters is living virtuously, loving the people in your life, doing meaningful work, developing your character.
These things matter today, not someday when you're successful. This perspective liberates you from the tyranny of ambition. You still work, you still strive, but not from a place of desperate lack. You work from a place of meaning and purpose. You create because creation itself is meaningful, not because you're chasing some outcome. You're free to enjoy today because you know your time is limited and you refuse to waste it in anxiety about the future. The Stoic paradox of success. Detach from success to achieve it. Here's the ultimate Stoic paradox about success. When you stop chasing it and focus instead on virtue, excellence, accepting your fate, building inner strength, and living with death in mind, success becomes far more likely. Why? Because you've removed the desperate, needy energy that repels opportunity. You've developed the character and capabilities that success requires. You've built resilience to handle setbacks. You've cultivated patience to persist through delays. The person desperately chasing success makes poor decisions from fear and scarcity. The Stoic, focused on virtue, makes wise decisions from abundance and clarity. The chaser is brittle, breaking at setbacks. The Stoic is anti-fragile, growing stronger through challenge. The chaser is controlled by external circumstances. The Stoic is internally free, and that freedom manifests as power and effectiveness in the world. Marcus Aurelius ran an empire with Stoic principles. Seneca accumulated vast wealth while teaching Stoic philosophy. These men weren't unsuccessful in worldly terms, but their success came as a byproduct of their commitment to virtue and excellence, not as the object of desperate pursuit. They focused on what they could control, their character and their effort, and let the outcomes take care of themselves. The Stoics offer you a path out of the exhausting chase. Stop focusing on outcomes you cannot control. Stop making your happiness dependent on external success. Stop wasting your precious, finite time in anxious pursuit of futures that may never arrive. Instead, commit to virtue and excellence in all you do. Love your fate, including obstacles and setbacks. Build an inner citadel that nothing external can shake. Remember your mortality and let it guide you to what truly matters. This is not the path of lowered ambition. This is the path of proper focus. You'll still work hard, but from strength rather than desperation. You'll still pursue goals, but you'll hold them lightly, finding fulfillment in the pursuit itself rather than postponing happiness until achievement. You'll become more effective, not less, because you're no longer sabotaging yourself with anxiety and attachment. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Your obstacles are not preventing your success. They are the very means of it, if you embrace them with Stoic virtue. Stop chasing, start building. The success will follow, and if it doesn't, you'll have something far more valuable: a life well lived, character well developed, and peace that no external circumstance can shake. That is the promise of Stoicism, and it's available to you starting now.